This is a Wild Game Production podcast.
Roll them bones.
I know you came here to be what you want in the game of D&D. Assassin, halfling, human, or rogue. Just gotta pick up all those dice and let's roll. We're rolling now for real. We're rolling now for real.
Welcome to Save or Die Expert Edition, the first and original classic D&D podcast.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to Save or Die Expert Edition North Texas RPG Con 2017 review. I'm your host, DM James. With me tonight is DM Glenn.
Sorry, I had to get that out.
And TM Eric.
I don't even know how I can follow Glenn on that. I just can't. I can't do it, man.
Well, you shouldn't stand behind Glenn anyway, especially if you don't always have lunch.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
That is true. Did you notice how I didn't argue that? So how you guys been?
Oh,
that great.
there's a reason it's been a long time since we put out an episode.
Both James and I have had our problems after we got back from the con, but that's not really what we want to talk about. We want to talk about the con.
Nothing gaming related, just real life being like, hey, screw you.
Pretty much.
Real life does not follow the rules because there are no rules to real life.
That's true.
Unless you're playing a very extensive game of GURPS.
Well, that is true, but that's also why I just use the source books. I don't use the system.
Well, okay. Yeah, I've seen people do that. I just figure life is God's role-playing game that's extremely house-ruled.
Probably.
Yeah.
And house ruled from group to group.
That's true. And person to person.
So there's probably some truth in it.
Or something like that. Yeah, so we had a couple of months of, hey, this is fun. This is fun. Let's get back to important things like role-playing games.
There you go.
Exactly.
Yes. How about you, Eric? How's things?
Compared to the crap that you two went through with...
Mr. 50-year-old.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, I think. As I told my wife, Rach, the only thing worse than turning 50 would not be turning 50.
That's true.
That's what I said to you. I said the alternative is not to.
Yes. So, yeah, I guess I'm happy I turned 50. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm waving at everybody. Thank you.
I've also had some time here. I haven't putting out any old man grognards lately. It's been kind of spotty because of all the people and grandkids and running around. Tonight I just did another live cast on Facebook just cause.
You casted for a while too. I saw that you were on for like an hour. So you have been like broadcasting like mad today.
Well, I'm trying to make up for the fact that I haven't done any old man grognards for a while.
That's fair.
And I noticed that Facebook live chat, it's good for about maybe 30, 45 minutes before I hear people. Either the comments will stop coming, they'll lock up, or somebody will say, hey, your video's locked up.
Ah.
Well,
So,
that's good to know.
I think it's a bandwidth thing with Facebook. But they're fun to do. I mean, I get to answer questions and stuff, and people type in. And I just got to get some younger eyes so I can read the comments.
Or just zoom in.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, younger eyes are not going to happen, unfortunately.
Well, you can have a grandkid dictate to you, but then that kind of ruins the whole effect anyway.
Yeah,
That's true.
It ruins the mystique. And the first person who said, nice hat, and that usually puts me in a good mood for something like that.
Well, you do have a damn fine sense of taste when it comes to headwear.
Thank you.
I know this from personal experience.
I was going to wear my Sons of the Desert fez, but I decided to wear my old standby. It's funny that model is called the Harrison, and I bought it at Disneyland.
The best hat I own is a gift my wife got me before we were married. Her family went to Disney, and it was early enough in the relationship where it was like an exclusive family thing, so I kind of wasn't involved in it. And my wife felt really bad that I didn't get to go. She got me this cool leather like adventurer's hat that I still have up in the closet. It's my favorite hat in the world. It's freaking awesome.
I also have a black fedora I wore in some of the earlier videos, but it's gotten dirty and it really needs to be shaped again.
I've got a black bowler I got to do something with.
Oh, bowlers! I love bowlers.
Do you want it? I'll send it to you if you want it.
But sure, I'd take a derby any day.
Yeah.
I've got, like I said, the black fedora is broken in because I wore it in Guys and Dolls. And
Oh, nice.
yeah, I bought it specifically. I hadn't even auditioned yet, and I bought it for that show. And it's like, I was in Long Beach, and they had a hat shop, and it's like, okay, give me that one. And she says, you don't know if you haven't even auditioned yet. Is this so? If I'm not cast, I get a nice hat. and I've got
Welcome to Saver Hats.
Yeah, well, I bought that, and I had a pair of wingtip black shoes from when I did Arsenic and Old Lace last time, and I just brought the customer and says, okay, I did the top and the bottom, you fill in the rest.
Nice.
And he went to New York. He goes to New York City to get costumes, and he got this beautiful pinstripe suit with a white vest and everything. I looked classy. But anyway, enough haberdashery. Haberdashery.
Balderdash and haberdashery.
I too could be president. Yeah, figure that one out, folks, all you youngsters. But anyway, we've got a con to talk about, don't we?
Yes,
we do.
North Texas RPG Con in Irving, Texas, the first weekend of the month in June. And Bad Mike always says, don't tell them that. Tell them it starts on Thursday. And says, well, it's a 4-day weekend. Starts Thursday, Sunday. People know first week in the month. But anyway, it starts Thursday and Sunday. And we were there. Some of us were there early, and we had a lot of fun. Didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yes, we did.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we
sir.
did. Damn you.
So I got there Wednesday, and did you guys get there Wednesday?
Got there Wednesday.
I think I got there Wednesday night.
You got there Wednesday night. Rach and I arrived. I don't know, around 3:30 or so. It's a new hotel this year.
Yeah, at the Westin.
Yes, it was.
Oh, and before we go any further, we should thank Mike Battalato and Doug Rhea. They put on a hell of a show again.
They do, in fact, put on a hell of a show.
Yeah, so I would advise you next year is the 10th anniversary, guys, so don't miss out.
Yep.
I went there Wednesday, basically to help Doug set up, because as some of us know, that Doug has had problems he's gone through chemo.
Yeah, he's had some really serious health stuff going on.
Yeah, he had cancer and such. So there's a lot of us that said, "Oh, we'll show up." I hadn't showed up like the day before in a long time from a con, and looking at my bank account, I probably shouldn't do it again.
Speaking of which, I want to take a second to thank the entire OSR community, without whom I would not have been present at the con.
That's right, your GoFundMe.
James Shields, who is an amazing, wonderful man and a great friend, went behind my back and started a GoFundMe, and many, many members of the community contributed in order to make sure that I had enough money to make it out.
Hey, I threw a few
Texas
bucks in.
A lot of people in the community did, and I was shocked. You can ask Eric what was. I was like, this is never going to happen. This is never going to happen. Eric's like 4 days it'll fund, and he was exactly right.
Wow.
Well, and James, here's the funny thing. I was the first to know about it before you knew about it, because for assistance with the tavern to spread the word. So when you were surprised to find out about it, I already had to keep that from you. So please forgive me.
Yeah, well, now that I know, I have to disown you and never speak to you again.
Oh my God. Show's over. Cancel it. Cancel it.
Okay, folks, we'll have the next GoFundMe for James soon for 10th anniversary. So keep your eyes out.
No, we won't. You can ask Eric or James. While it was happening, I was not terribly comfortable with it, because Eric will tell you, I hate feeling like I owe people anything.
How about if we keep it a secret?
I'll expect it now. Oh, I won't expect it now, but I'll be more wary for it to see it happen.
Okay.
So you're less likely to pull one over on me. So no.
We got a year, so we'll figure out something devious.
Always.
Well, after the poor stress my wife went through while I was in Texas.
Oh wow.
Well, she got a tooth infection that had to be dealt with, and then we had a strange circumstance where my house got my house, but not my dog, got infested with fleas because we live in a very wetland area, and we didn't have a cold enough winter to kill the fleas, but the dog had been treated.
Right.
We literally had to bomb the house a dozen times.
Wow.
Oh, gee.
Anyway. Anyway, we got there Wednesday. I helped set up, pull the stuff out of the truck, put it over there, pull the stuff out of the truck, put it over there, type of thing. Then I went to dinner with Bad Mike and the other guys somewhere. I don't remember where. But you, Eric, went with James?
Well, first, Rich and I went with Rich LeBlanc.
Got it.
And his crew from his New Big Dragon. And then we went out for a second dinner like frickin' hobbits. Because we went out with James and James.
Yep.
So,
well, it was funny. When I walked into the con, I literally walked into the hotel lobby, and I have a very distinct backpack that I carried into the con. It's orange. And it's
Right.
done in the motif of the Star Wars X-Wing pilots. It's very, very distinct. I've never seen anyone else carrying it. I know they mass-produced them, obviously, but... And there's this guy in line behind me with it, and he's, like, looking at me strangely. And he's like, oh, we have the same backpack. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we do. And he's like, James. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, no, it's James. And it was James Shields. And I was like, oh, my God. And I, like, gave him a big old tackle hug and was like, oh, this is so cool. Being a big dork. So, and we were like, it was like, my brother from another mother kind of thing.
Oh, yeah, just like us.
Yep.
yeah.
Only taller.
Yeah, Glenn, you are tall, dude. Like, you ain't small.
Yeah, he found me. He says that. I mean, ever since I started going to the con, Mike and Liz always talk about their hill giant that they podcast with. So
They're not necessarily wrong. I mean, like, I'm a tall dude. I'm 6'1", 6'2", and I had to, like, seriously look up at you pretty much all weekend.
I'm 6'6".
It was impressive. Yep.
Yeah, well, I always thought the role-playing community had a plethora of big, large, fat guys.
It does. It absolutely does.
Beard optional.
Yeah.
Yes. Which, by the way, I now have one.
Yes, I can see the picture here.
No. Not even that one. Like, I've got, like, a full-on beard now.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh.
You're not going to be a neckbeard, are you?
Oh, no. Never.
Worst RPG supplement ever. Anyway, so Wednesday, that was pretty much... Wednesday, I got into Astonishing Swordsman and Sorcerers. Oh, nice beard. Yes.
Damn.
Yeah.
Astonishing Swordsman and Sorcerers of Hyperborea, I got to play that with Jeff Tarnelin as the GM. The author.
Jeff Talenian actually GM.
Jeff Talenian, sorry.
Oh,
Yes.
that's awesome.
I mean, well, I was bummed out when I went for picking the games, and I didn't get any of his games because freaking internet. And then it's like, okay, I'm going to run something Friday. You want to play? Sure. And like I'm sitting opposite Richard LeBlanc, who's also playing. So it's like, wow, this is fun.
I made the mistake of not signing up for anything because it was my first North Texas.
That's the way you're supposed to go for your first con, really.
So, well, that's what I figured. I don't really know the con. I don't know the layout of it. I don't really know how it works. So I'll just go and I'll keep myself fast and loose. And in the end, I'm glad I did because I wanted to meet people.
And you did.
More than play. And I got to meet a lot of wonderful people.
And you did.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the thing. My first North Texas, which was, I guess, 3 years ago, because this was our fourth, we had a full schedule, Rach and I, and by Saturday night, we were dead. We were done. We were in a Michael Curtis game. Even Michael Curtis was like, and Rich was there too, and I think Tim Snyder was with us, and we're all like, yeah, let's just go to the bar. we were done. I had a game that morning with Matt Finch, and I go like, Matt, we can't do it, man. We just can't.
That was this year?
I learned. No, that was the first time I went, just 3 years ago.
Okay.
And then after that, I learned. Now,
yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. This is the first time I ran 2 sessions of Swords and Wizardry Light, and it was the first time I'd run a face-to-face game in 20 years.
Wow.
I run on the internet. I run on Roll20. But it's the first time, and I learned one thing that I didn't remember doing when I used to GM face-to-face mail group, that I need to stand now because I
Your back
can't.
starts hurting?
I can't sit. I'm too moving around the table, talking to people.
I do that when I GM too. I get up, I get down. I get up, I get down. I get up. Some people, like Matt Fidge, he gets up and stays up.
Yep.
Matt Finch doesn't just get up and stay up. Matt Finch gets up, stands on the table, and starts pacing the table.
Pacing it?
Yes.
Now he's pacing it. Like,
He doesn't stay put when he stands. He moves around. I'm always the most amazing thing to see. Him, Bill Webb, how they can run groups of 24 people.
I can't. do
Amazing GMs. If you ever get a chance to play with either one.
See,
My God.
my problem is I get, I've got arthritis in my knees and my feet, and I get like cramped if I sit down, so I stand up for a while. Unfortunately, I'm 6'6", so to read the stuff behind my screen, I got to sit down again because it's too far away. Even with my glasses, I'm the only one I know who has a large print DM screen for D&D.
That's awesome.
I made it myself. There's 3 charts. 3 charts. That's all I could fit, but I could read them.
You know what? You just opened my eyes up because I'm going to be running Swords of Wizardry Light at my friendly local game store starting September every other Thursday, and I got myself the DM screen which I can do the inserts, and I was looking for inserts, and I just realized since I'm going to be standing up all the time, and Swords of Wizardry Light doesn't have too much in the way of charts, but I can have what I need as I remember I'll just go into the original files, blow it up. I'll be able to stand up the whole freaking time and never have to sit down. I can read all the stuff that I need right off that. That is awesome. Thank you, Glenn.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I made my own on Excel sheet. I just typed it in from the book, from the Rule Cyclopedia. I did the players to hit chart, the monsters to hit chart, and the saves. That's it.
Nice.
That is pretty close to all you need.
Yeah. Excuse me. I have wonderful DM screens, but damn it, I can't read them.
I did play in a couple of games though. On Saturday, and this is awesome. I was nominated for 3 castles this year, and that's why the big GoFundMe went on, and that was both a shock and kind of awesome. I didn't win, but Mike Stewart of Save or Die fame did win for Victorious, and good on him because he busted his ass for years to bring Victorious to light, so it's well earned and well deserved.
You're right.
Yep.
But after the award ceremony, I got to play a gentleman named Billy Longino, I apologize for mispronouncing that, Billy, ran an awesome BX game centered around law and order in the Shire.
Cool.
We were all halfling cops.
Police procedural.
Oh, man. Dude, you're killing me.
It was... And there was even a dwarf. And he had this setup where like dwarves were seen as second-class citizens, and I played. And every halfling had a special ability.
I love it.
But it wasn't necessarily good. Like the guy I played was the grumpy old sergeant who was about to retire. And whenever he went to attack, he had to roll a d6, and if he rolled a 1, his gout acted up, and he wouldn't do anything. So. Yeah, that pretty much tells you the tone.
Wow.
So Billy's running this awesome game, and I'm playing 2 of my friends. Ross and Jody flew from Nebraska to Texas on their own dime to be there to support me for my nomination.
Wow.
Yeah. These are wonderful people. I love them to death. And so they're playing in this game with me. And like what happened was I figured if I'm playing the desk sergeant who retires next week, we walk into the inn where this horrible crime has happened that we're supposed to investigate. I literally the entire time sat next to the tap and just told everyone else what to do. I never got up once. The bar got attacked by goblins. I convinced them that we had a birthday cake for them, and we shoved a bunch of explosive flumps in the front door and blew them up. I mean, it was
flumps.
It was just this complete idiotic mess that was an absolute blast. It was friggin' great.
Wow.
That was so much fun.
Anyway,
That was so much fun.
Getting ahead of ourselves again. Anyway, the Astonishing Swordsman game was, all I remember is this one guy who played a magician, wizard, and we had to go in the swamp, and we had to get information from this swamp hag. And we're in her hut, and she's, being evasive and stuff, and all of a sudden she starts doing this thing about how lonely she is. And starts eyeing a couple of the party. And the wizard jumps up and has said, "Hey, baby, you want to do it?" And we're all looking at each other, and we leave the hut with him. He goes to bed with her and gets our information that we needed. And we all look at him and go, "Why?" He says, "Well, just consider it taking one for the team."
Nice.
It's like, dude, I have never seen any kind of role-playing like that before. Incredible.
Well, Rach and I, we played in a pickup game with Edwin Nagy, who's done a lot of work with lesser-known games, and
I met him for the first time. He's a good dude. He's really quiet and really understated.
Oh, well, we did a pickup game with him where he made up the whole scenario on the spot, and we just happened to be a bunch of demi-human, cultist cannibals, but we only ate humans. We didn't eat other demi-humans.
That's kind of awesome.
It was the most bizarrely awesome game I think I've ever played in. And we're going to hopefully pick it back up at Gamehole. So
he published a module, and I'm totally blanking the name of it, but it's a neat concept because he gave me a free copy of it. It was just awesome, and the idea is you are teleported into this dungeon to defeat a dragon, and they teleport you right next to the dragon's lair. And whereas most modules get harder as you get further in, this one actually gets easier if you can manage to get closer to the exit.
Nice.
So the last monsters you fight before the exit are like kobolds, and then the first thing you encounter is the damn dragon.
Damn.
Right.
Yeah, it's nasty.
So anyway, that was Wednesday. What did you guys do Thursday?
I spent pretty much the first 2 days just wandering around, taking it in.
Well, I loafed for the first, in the morning and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had a noon, 1 o'clock game. This was my 2-part Gangbusters game. I got adventurous and wanted to run 2 games this year, but I was trying to hedge my bets. Okay, I'll make it part 1 and part 2. And it'll take me 12 hours. And then they scheduled them back to back.
I spent most of Thursday and Friday socializing. Cool. Because I smoke and I smoke a pipe, I tend to spend a lot of time out in the smoking areas. So I got to know all my fellow OSR smokers.
Is
Nice.
that where you met Frank?
Yeah, that's where I saw Frank for the first time.
Frank Menser.
No. I saw Frank. I didn't actually meet him until later, actually inside, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's Frank Menser! Oh my God, it's Frank Menser! Holy crap, it's Frank Menser!" And I forget who I was talking to, but you want to meet him? And I'm like, no. And the guys are like, Frank, come here, and I can't remember who it is. I'm too busy staring at Frank Menser, going, "Oh my God, it's Frank Menser!" And he walks up and he just goes, "Hi," and I shake his hand and I just went, you changed my life." And he was like, "Yeah, I get that sometimes." Totally approachable, totally friendly, really cool dude. And just had a genuine, sincere smile on his face and kind of had a little joke at my expense, which was kind of awesome.
Well, now here, I'm going to tell my Merle story since it involves James.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So I'm talking with Merle Rasmussen, and Frank Metzner is next to us, and me and Rachel talking with Merle, and I see coming from behind Frank, what I realize is, oh my God, that's James, who then proceeds to give me a flash of his male chest as I'm looking at Frank right in the eye. So I'm seeing...
That was great. It was so great.
So I was just like, this is bizarre, because I'm talking to Merle, and I'm about to talk to Frank, and what I see is...
It's just man boob everywhere.
Man boob from my good friend James. So yes, it was and not for nothing, that was the feel of the con. Everywhere I went.
What, man boob?
Not man boob. Well, listen, they're gamers. There's a lot of man boob just not being exposed usually. But the feel of the con was a very light feel this year. It was
It's casual. It felt very casual.
It felt very casual, very relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
It had an awesome feel. Again, I'm going to tell the new hotel, the Westin, on the money. I wasn't sure how I was going to adjust myself to the change. I liked my previous 3 years at the old hotel, and staff actually remembered us, me and Rach. But this hotel, they did a wonderful job for the con. The layout was great. I think the only thing they really need to address, and there already are, is the secondary dealers hall was a little sparse.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
But they know that.
That was a matter of just getting in there for a while.
I remember what I did Friday. Friday, I was wandering around, and in the morning, I saw that someone had on the docket a game of Adventures in Middle-earth, which is the 5e adaptation. And I actually did a little work on the player's guide. The game was full. It was being run by Stan Shin, who did Dungeon-esque. And it was full, but I didn't want to play. I just kind of wanted to watch. You know, it'll be neat to watch people play a game I worked on. And he recognized me. He's like, "Oh my God, you're James Bond." And I was like, "Oh my God, I am." And and he's like, "Do you want to play?" And I was like, "Well, I don't want to take anybody's spot. You've already got 2 reservists." So he let all the reservists in and ended up with a party of like 10 or 11 people.
Wow.
And still ran a really, really solid game. I mean, it was a lot of fun. To get to play, I very rarely get to play any Lord of the Rings or Star Wars games because, you know, people are, "Oh, I don't know it as well as you. I don't want to run it for you." And that pisses me off because I just want to have fun like everybody else.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
And but I got to sit down and I got to play a Hobbit, and it was awesome.
I was running my Gangbusters game for this group in Austin, and you know them, James.
Oh yeah. I was going to talk about them later.
Okay, well that's what happened was back up a bit. Friday night after I came back from dinner, they were going to dinner, and who was the leader?
Jeff.
Jeff, you're Old Man Grognard. Yes, I am. You're running the Gangbusters game. Yeah, we all signed up. And I looked at him and go, "Oh crap, really?" And we're all in the same group.
Oh no, that means they know how to operate together.
Yes. Well, I mean, no, that's good for a game and stuff, but it's like, great, I'm going to be embarrassed in front of 6 people that all know each other. But it's like, there's, no stress, right? So they go off and I go off and the 1 o'clock comes and they all show up and we had a banger. They did a 2-part 12-hour game in 6 hours.
Wow.
And not only that, they finished part 2 before part 1.
Oh wow!
Because the way the games work, they kind of overlapped a little. There's a little consistency with a couple of characters. The hitman, it's like the hitman in part 1 was like the main bad guy in part 2. And it was so funny because it's like, and you know, I'd run some Gangbusters, but not a whole lot. And I still was working out the don't split up the, trying to go against the don't split up the party thing that you do in D&D, because it's going to happen in Gangbusters. They're all different. They're all good guys. You know, I got 2 FBI agents, 2 Prohibition agents over here, a private eye, and another a reporter, I think.
I'm sorry, Glenn.
So I basically broke them up into teams. The 2 FBI people, the 2. And I would rotate between the scenes, and they were getting their information, which was great. But they do stuff like, okay, we're all going to meet, and we're going to take out the Dutchman, and then later on we're going to bust the rum runners. And it's like, well, we got an hour. You want to take a nap? It's like they had it planned out so well.
Well, I'll tell you something. They are on point. That whole group is just totally on point. They I met Jeff. I casually met Jeff Saturday morning, which, by the way, the Weston's breakfast buffet is awesome.
Yep.
And I need to make a deep, dark confession.
Yeah.
My first morning there, Thursday morning, I didn't realize it wasn't free.
Oops.
Yeah. My bad.
Well, I had a similar thing, but not so bad. I didn't realize it was $10 for con attendees.
Yeah, you told me about that.
I
It's
played
only like $20.
$18, and then if it's only 10 for us. Just show your badge. At that time, I had not got my badge yet.
Oh.
So that's live and learn. But how did you find out it wasn't free after they chased you down, or what?
No, I noticed other people being left checks on the second day, and I was like, oh, shit.
So you just ate and left?
Oopsie.
So I waited. Yeah, I just ate and left. I just sat down like pretty close to the hall in case I saw somebody I knew.
Wow.
And then when I was done, nobody walked up to me. I was like, oh, it must be free. And I got up and left.
Wow.
And I felt like a real jerk for the rest of the con.
You got away with it. I'm surprised. I mean, there was they had over at the Marriott, they had a discount for the brunch or whatever, and I paid what I thought I should pay and left the coupon, and then I got this waitress following me around. He said,
Wow.
no, it doesn't. And finally, Doug, I think it was Doug, said, no, it doesn't work that way. It works this way. And he said, don't worry about it. Everybody's been doing it. They don't understand how the coupon works.
I felt terrible.
So you don't have to be so bad. It's not. It don't hurt.
Oh, those people were hard though. They were always feeding some gamers. Let me tell you, gamers can put food away.
Oh heck yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
That breakfast hall was full every morning.
Oh yeah. Well, anyway,
What amazed?
yeah, go ahead.
One thing that amazed me about the con, because I don't drink, I had no idea the amount of alcohol that was consumed at this event. It is staggering.
Isn't it?
God. Oh,
Um,
yeah.
And there's some elements of chaos that are just flying around. When I got introduced to a publisher I was not aware of, and two of the main forces behind it, from sitting out at the smoking pit with other people late at night who were drinking while I wasn't, Ian McCarty and Jason Gardner, who are two great dudes. Ian and I really got to talk shop and got to talk about stuff with our kids and had a good time. And Saturday night, I went out for like my last smoke before I went to bed, and they're all out there carousing. And he's like, man, I don't want to carry this box of crap I bought up to your room. And I looked at him, and there's a very important phrase my father taught me, and that is that drunk people will give you money for anything. And I looked at him and said, and I jokingly said, I'll take it up to your room for $10. And he went, okay. And I was like, seriously? He's like, yeah. So I did that, and I got my $10, and I spent the rest. And he said, henchman, take my stuff to my room. So I spent the rest of the con going around going, yes, master. Like I was his
That
knob.
is awesome.
It was hilarious. And then I went and bought all Silver Blaze stuff because he's a good dude, and then they're good products.
Yeah.
They're good, quick products.
Yeah.
And the other interesting encounter comes from I can see why Zach loves his character of Thopus so much, because he is Thopus. He comes running out to me. He sees me in the smoking pit and charges me like he's going to tackle me. And he sees me holding my Legion kit, Swords of Winter Light Legion folder, and he grabs it and goes, I need this. Yanks it out of my hand, takes the light rules, takes the pre-generated characters, and runs off. Not without no explanation, no asking, just grabs it and goes. And because I know Zach, it was hilarious.
Of course.
So 5 minutes later, Jim Wampler comes out to have a cigarette, and he's looking stressed. I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, man, I got to run a game. I don't have any graph paper. And of course, one of the things in the light packets is the little pad of graph paper. And I was like, well, here you go. And he's like, you sure, man? And I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, I'm sure I can get another one from Bad Mike later, today. So I went back to get another one, and they were gone. Like, they were out for the rest of the day. They didn't get any more until Sunday. Wow. And it was just, there was so much funny stuff. I got to sit there and have some really good talks with Matt Finch, and just get to sit down and talk to people. You just don't get to have those kind of conversations.
I'm glad
on the internet.
Yeah, I'm glad Black Blade put those little pads in there. But when I got my kit, I looked at it and I just smiled. I looked over on the shelf where there's like 5 of them I bought 2 years ago from Black Blade.
I like them because you can hand them to players and think, what's the room look like? Okay, this is what you can see.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they are. They're a perfect size. That's what I was actually using when I was running my games, because we got to the table and I didn't have a dry erase marker. They have the great dry erase grids for each table, but I didn't have.
Oh my God, those were fantastic! And dice towers.
They always have dice towers. In fact, I asked them where they got them, and I bought a couple of them.
Yeah, at my table on the one afternoon, I didn't have a dice table, tower. But and neither time did I have a dry erase. I was just using a small graph paper. But I mean, I too was getting people. I'm walking through the hallways from my first game had 2 standbys, which I told them both come on in. And my second game on when I ran on Friday, I get stopped in the hall of the hotel, and then it's like, you're running Eric, you're running a game in like 15 minutes, right? I'm like, yeah. Well, where are you going now? To get something to eat? I'm like, well, yeah, I'm getting my soda for the game. Do you have any room for more people? Just take a seat. Just take a seat. We'll make it work. I mean. So and to me, running with 8, 9, 10 people, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
I added at least one to my game. These people love that game so much, I ended up running a pickup game Sunday for them. Had no idea what I was going to do, but I did it anyway.
Well, there you go.
Most of other than that, Saturday I did my usual traditional walk up to Doug, hand him $60, saying, "Okay, I'm paid for next year," and and he had me $5 back. It's like it was 55. Okay, until okay, fine, thank you. So I'm number 1 in there.
Nice.
That's hilarious.
Nice.
Walked into the dealer's room, of course. Walked up to Bad Mike and said, "Look, dude, I need some Swords and Wizardry Light stuff." Because I have the idea, I want to be the Oklahoma rep for Swords and Wizardry Light. And so he handed me about, 10 of them. And I took them. Then I went over to the Frog God booth.
Right.
And I said to Bill Webb, I said the same thing. I says, can you give me some kind of, I want to do demos for you of Swords and Wizardry Light. What kind of support? He says, okay, here, hold out your hands. He starts grabbing hardback books and handing them to me, saying, here, this is a gift, this is a gift, this is a gift. Gives me a deck of his Dirty Tricks playing cards.
Oh, okay, excellent deck. Oh
I said,
God.
okay, that'll get me by. I mean, I got more than I could do to run here, but I didn't want to say it, but I was thinking like flyers and banners. Some kind of advertisement or something.
I wanted one of those decks so bad, and I went back to get one on Sunday, and they were gone.
But then I turned around the next day, and I ended up buying like 3 more books from them.
Well, there's one thing I learned this con, it is that Bill Webb is a force of nature.
Oh, Bill Webb.
My God.
He comes into a room by kicking in the door with a bottle of booze in one hand and a dice bag in the other, and says, "Where's the party? It's right here."
Wait, you left out the Hawaiian shirt, the shorts, and the sandals.
Well, they're a given. They're a given.
Yeah. All right.
No, I make every year I go away saying, "Damn you, Bill Webb."
Mm-hmm.
Damn you, Bill Webb, because if I'm going to spend 25, I end up spending 50. And it's like this man can sell ice to Eskimos.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Well, listen, my highlight of the con was Rich and I just came back. I think it was Friday.
Uh-huh.
We had just come back for dinner with the Wolves and a bunch of other great gamers, and we had some great Texas barbecue. Oh my God! So I ate like a pig. Couldn't finish I couldn't finish what was on my plate. And come back in, and there is Matt Finch and Bill Webb and Zach and everybody else from Frog God. And Matt's like, "Oh, Eric, Rich, come join us for dinner. We're having the Frog God dinner." And I'm like, "Bill, Matt, we just came in
from dinner.
From dinner. We had 2 dinners the previous night." And he's like, "All right, well, have a second dinner." I looked at Rach, and we were just like,
"Okay.
Well, we can have our first dessert and drinks." And we did. And then Bill was nice enough at the end. Bill was nice enough at the end to call me out specifically for Swords and Wizardry Light. And it was very nice to be called in. And thanks to Bill, I'm going to publicly thank him right now. Any convention that the Frogs go to, Bill is going to be covering my costs at the con. I got to get there myself, which is fine.
Nice.
So
I need
but,
a benefactor
Bill,
like that.
well, I kind of swim in the Frog God pond, but I'm a very small tadpole.
I'm working on it.
So what do you think? You've earned your frog legs.
Ugh. Well, with me, yeah, I'm a
Maybe adjust myself to my seat.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry.
a frog god tadpole too, but I'm in the other pond over in frickin' Oklahoma.
They have ponds in Oklahoma? I thought that was like a dry state. But I'm bummed.
Oh,
I'm on the East Coast. I'm about as far away as you can get.
yeah, you're true. That's true.
Actually, I'm in New York, so yeah. I'm pretty far too. And remember, Frog Bill's out in frickin' Washington State.
So here's the rule for cons. If somebody's going to pick up your tab for dinner, eat like a hobbit.
I can't do that, man. I just, I not that I'm a light eater, but no. But,
Well, that's kind of what happened. I ended up sucked into a Bill Webb dinner, too. They were all just sitting there smoking. It's like, all right, everybody, we're going to dinner. And I assumed he meant, like, the frogs, so I got up to go. And he's like, no, come on.
I was there with you for that one.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm going to be, okay, they're going to do their thing. Awesome, I'll hang here. And he's like, no, come on. And I was like, oh, okay.
I think I went with the Austin group, the Manticores, over to Denny's that night.
We all, because that Sunday, you and I and the Manticores ended up at the Red Robin.
That was like on the way home. That was like, okay, this is the official end of the con. Boom, goodbye. See you next year. Which
I want to say publicly right now, Jeff Webb runs the best Shadowrun game I've ever played in.
Yes. I was listening to you a bit, even though I was struggling over there with the Gangbusters game at the other table.
Oh my God, I had so much fun in that game. From the concept to the way he runs Shadowrun, because Shadowrun can get bogged down quick, and he cuts through the crunch but keeps the flavor. And gave everybody a chance to do stuff. And one of the coolest things he did was, remember how in the Shadowrun books they have those laminated, pre-generated template characters? He took those, printed them out on 11 by 17, but included a damage track, equipment list, and then if you flipped it over, it was all the rules, the basic rules primer.
God, and then he really had everything there.
And then he laminated them so you could write on them with dry erase.
Nice.
It was so good that I looked at him and I said, "Can I have this as a memento of the con?" And he was like, "Wow, nobody's arrested." I was like, "Yeah, this is like so cool." He's like, "Yeah, you take it. It's great." So, and then he gave me the PDFs if I ever wanted to use them myself.
Wow.
And we're not. Well, hold on, not done yet. So then he invites me out with the Dragoons
and me
to go. We all went to Red Robin. And then after we get back and we connect over Facebook, he's like, "Hey man, I want to make you an honorary member of our community." I was like, "Dude, I'm in Maryland and you're in Texas." He's like, "No, it's cool." I was like, "If you guys are cool with that, great. I mean, I'd be honored." And so not only did he make me an honorary member of the Dragoons, he sent me a Royal Dragoons patch to put on my jacket. I mean, he's just 7 kinds of stand-up.
He offered the same thing to me, and I said, let me think about it, because they're in Austin and I'm in Oklahoma City. I know I could get there easier than you, but, it's like something I have to plan. So I said, let me think about it. He says, okay, cool. And then when I get back and I talked to him on Facebook, and he says, I hear you got Jim Spahn a membership. He says, yeah. What did I say at the con? I don't remember. You said you'd think about it. He says, all right, I did. Yes.
And then I sat.
So now I remember.
Sat at lunch all day talking. We sat at lunch for like 2 hours, and another Dragoon, Raul Trevino, he found out I wrote on the One Ring and completely lost and started asking me all these questions about Tolkien, which was great to get to sit there for 2 hours and talk about Tolkien with somebody.
He was dividing his time between you and me because he was all over that Gangbuster stuff. He's the guy who bought. I gave my box set to Bad Mike to Oshkosh, and he's the one who bought it.
Oh wow!
He paid like $145 for it.
Speaking of auctions, man, did you see those Jeff Easley originals? Oh yeah. My God!
He does that every year. He
sits there and paints. Those were amazing.
He sits there and paints with house paint.
Yeah, what he does with house paint. Oh my God.
Yes, it was incredible.
It was the kind of thing I would have put a bid on, but there's no way my wife would let me hang a 3 foot by 5 foot picture of an undead warrior in our living room.
No, it was really. This is the first year I think I did not pick up any original artwork.
Anyway,
I didn't buy much. I tried to keep myself pretty thin on the budget because flights both ways and hotels and all that ate up about 80% of the money that was raised.
I brought enough money to spend the way I wanted to, but even if I bring a crap ton of money, I'm still very discriminating on how I do it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
I'm saying, because it's like, okay, I wanted that last year. It seems the last few years it's like I always buy the thing I wanted the year before, and then that year there'd be something I can't afford, and then next year I buy it. This year I have everything, so I could. There was this one guy. Did you see that one guy in the other dealer room who was selling those books? Those leather books.
Mm-hmm.
I bought 3 of those and gave one to Becky.
Okay.
I got 2 of them. They were beautiful, and they're all filled with handmade paper.
really? I had no idea.
250 sheets worth of it. And I mean,
that's
it was
no slouch.
Yeah, it says made in India, so I figured, yeah, okay, that's probably where it was. But still, it's handmade paper. I'm using one as a sketchbook. It's
One
great.
of the cool things I got to do.
And they were $25 a piece. That's what got me. Anyway. Go ahead.
No, I think it was Saturday night. James Shields was actually running a White Star game, and I think he was running it for the Dragoons.
Huh?
And what very few people at the con knew, I'd run into the Dragoons for the first time, I think it was Saturday morning. And I sat down, and Jeff and I immediately started talking about Shadowrun. We started fanboying over Shadowrun. And he's like, yeah. He's like, what do you like to play? I was like, I really like to play Deckers, but the decking rules suck. And he's like, yeah, they do. And what most people at the con did not know was that I had a draft copy of White Star Galaxy Edition in my bag the entire con. And the idea was that James and I, who's doing a lot of the art, we're going to go over and do some art placement and ideas. And very little of that got done, which I'm not surprised by. But I got to sit down and show those to Jeff. And then it turns out that James was running a White Star game for them later that night, which I didn't know at the time. But I gave James, there's only one in existence, and I don't know who got it. But Michael Alhauser, who does Grayed Out dice bags, which is on Etsy. His dice bags are awesome. I own like 6 of them.
Yeah.
He actually made me as a gift the only dice bag he's ever made that has only dice bag out there that has the White Star logo on it.
Wow.
Oh wow.
And I gave that to James to give to one of the players.
I remember you flashing Hero's Journey at me.
Yeah. Well, that was a lot of people. I was surprised at how well received it was over. I was really surprised just generally by the generosity of the community. Like, example, I'm sitting there on the second day eating my breakfast, which I fully intended to pay for, then I realized my screw up. And somebody walks up to me and goes, "Oh, you're James Spawn?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "You wrote Hero's Journey?" And I went, "Yeah." And he said, "White Star?" I was like, "Uh-huh." And he's like, "I'm Eric Garland. I'd like to pay for your breakfast." And I was like, yeah, sure. And we sat there and we just talked for like 2 hours.
Wow.
I was walking through the halls and I ran into Theron Bretz. And he just asked me all these questions about design and what I was thinking when I was writing different rules. And
was there there? I didn't see him.
Yeah, he was there. I saw him.
I remember
we had a good long conversation.
Year before, he ran that 4th edition Champions game I was in.
Oh wow!
Where I was sitting next to Steve Perrin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
I know Steve from back in the, 80s, 90s Heroes time. I used to live in San Jose and stuff, and I see him at cons. So yeah. Anyway, my favorite story about Jim is sitting there Saturday in the hall, talking, and Errol Otis walks by.
Forgot about
and
this.
he walks by and said, "Hey, Errol." He turns around and says, "Hey, Glenn." And I said, come over here. I said, "Errol Otis, Jim Spawn." And James turns to me and goes, "Not the Errol Otis." I said, "Yeah." And he goes,
pretty
"Nice
much.
to see you." And, he sit there and talk for a few minutes, and he went on. And it's like, I hope you brought your Depends this trip, right?
Pretty much. I mean, it was like, it took me seeing 2 or 3 icons in the community to not, change my shorts every time I saw somebody.
And they're all
That's awesome.
They're all
Oh, yeah.
sweet. They're all sweet guys too. Let's see, what else? What else do we do? I really, who I really got close to this time and really got to talk to is Bruce Hurd.
Oh, really?
Really? I didn't see him. I knew he was there. I didn't see him.
I was in his Kaladar game, his first Kaladar game, at the con. He owed me a book because I did on his Kickstarter. I did the voiceover for the video.
Okay.
Oh, no
And
idea.
so
Right.
he asked me, well, what do you charge? I said, for you, your current book. And so
nice.
he brought Beyond the Skies and he autographed it for me, and we hung out a little. We talked, and like the next day we went to lunch, and I found out about his life back in France and what he did with with the TSR era and all that other stuff, and how Kaladar is doing, and he's a really nice guy. I really enjoyed him, and Bruce, you're a sweetheart. I'll always play in your games, anytime.
Wow. I'm sorry I missed him.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy. What about you, Eric? What else?
I tried hanging out at the Frog God table, spent a lot of time talking with Mike, played in the Rapinathic 3D dungeon.
How did that go?
It was a kill fest, but it was awesome. It looked great. It was printed. Everything was printed out with 3D printer.
Uh-huh.
The whole group was awesome. And one of the last to die was, I believe, Rach, because
Wow.
she was playing somebody who was kick-ass. No, it was just a really good time. Skeeter runs a good game.
Skeeter Green,
Really,
yeah.
yeah.
Another frog. I kind of miss, I know Tim Snyder didn't come this year, but I kind of miss him there because I remember last year him running that Toon game that you and Raish were in.
Oh, he ran Tuna. He ran Ghostbusters last year.
Yeah, he did. I was in the Ghostbusters game.
Yeah, no, we
did-
were at both of them. Yeah.
Well, I
Awesome.
wasn't officially at the Toon game because,
To Toon game, you were playing the NPCs.
yeah, he says, yeah, I just came by to see how it was going and, see all the seats were filled and say, oh, okay. He said, no, stick around, sit down next to me. You can help me. And so whatever he wanted me to do at NPC, I'd do a funny voice or something. And, it was a Dungeons and Dragons parody. It was great. I thought it was hilarious. It was like Dunkers and Doofuses or something.
Yeah, Tim runs a great game. I think he's coming next year.
Good.
I think for him, North Texas is every other year. He does other appearances at more regional stuff. Tim's a good people.
Yeah, he the year before, I will never forget him for this. He ran Mutant Future. He ran Thundar the Barbarian using Mutant
Oh, yeah.
Mutant Future. My friend Matt Evans, Mr. Bithgarther, and I were in it, and a couple other people. I played Thundar,
Oh.
and Matt played Ukla.
Oh, that's
And
great because you
that was
can't
a-
communicate then.
That
That's
was. He
awesome.
said. I said, look. I just said it's because he didn't know the show. I said Ukla Namak is just Chewie with a bad temper.
Yep.
And,
Yeah.
and he did stuff like on his pad, he had like the intro to the show and everything. He played it just like it was a Saturday morning cartoon. He had intros. He had commercials from the era, including the D&D commercial.
Nice.
Fantastic.
And he'd do the setup and he'd point to me and he'd get the video going and and he points to me and go, Ariel, Ukla, ride! And you see them riding across the thing and it's like, yes, this is great. And Matt saw the intro with Ukla breaking stuff up. He says, oh, yeah, okay, I can play that.
Awesome.
Anyway, that's cons past.
I got to meet a lot of people who I had encounters with online who I respect a lot. I'm really excited for Mutant Crawl Classics, and I got to meet, Jim Wampler and be like, dude, I'm stoked for your game. And that was really cool to sit there and talk to Jim for a bit and get to know him. Jason Hobbs, who I absolutely love.
Oh, God, yeah.
This guy's got a heart the size of Texas. He's awesome. He's a solid people. Eric Hoffman, who I saw 2 years ago at Trident Con in Maryland, We saw each other again, and that man's composure and professionalism intimidate me, and he is like one of the coolest people ever.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, he was another guy who was up for 3 castles, another, nobody like me.
Uh-huh.
So, just getting to put faces to names and get to really hang out. You can get to know somebody online, but you get a real vibe for him when you meet him in person, and
You do.
and that was really cool to get to put names to faces and get to like genuinely hang out with people. It was
And
real
Tim
fun.
Kask on the lark trying to run everybody over.
Leave the grumpy old man alone. I love
That's
Tim.
just it. Like I like when I always say that Tim Kask scares the shit out of me because I'm afraid he's going to leap across the table, punch me in the face, and tell me to game harder. And having met him in person, my assessment has not changed one bit.
Oh,
He is who he is, and he puts it like it is, and I say that in all affection because I do not dislike Tim in any way, shape, or form. But he is who he is, and he makes no bones about it, and I can respect that. He's not putting on airs for anybody.
nope.
He's just like, this is how it is, and if you don't like it, that's your problem, not mine. And I have serious respect for people who can do that.
Oh, I have a tale to tell about him and one of my old players at a previous guy. I'll tell you off the air. Just remind me. And Tim Kask, we have Dr. Stannis Astaire there running Bunnies and Burrows, who is a Manticore. He is part of that group.
Yep. And I believe that something related to Bunnies and Burrows came about because of the con.
Right.
Yes, it's going to be Bunnies and Burrows. Well, right now they're working on a Bunnies and Burrows Light, which is going to lead to a Bunnies and Burrows revival on Kickstarter. Dennis and I spent Friday night talking in the lobby, sitting down, relaxed, into the wee hours until I looked at my watch and said, you know what, Dennis? In New York, this is like 4 a.m., and I no longer do this. I really go to sleep. But he's a gentleman, nicest guy, and it was in retrospect, even that wasn't happening. It was bizarre. Talking gaming shop, talking game design with Dr. Dennis Astaire, whose Swordbearer game was one of the first non-D&D games I picked up.
Yep.
I mean, blew my mind.
And
It's very strange to talk to people who you regard as heroes and for them to speak to you as peers.
I don't have much love. I mean, not love, but I really don't care about Top Secret, which is coming out in a new edition on Kickstarter. But Merle Rasmussen was there, and I kind of envy you and Raish because you were playing in his game, and it was all Legos.
Oh, yeah, and here's the thing. I played in his game last year with Rach, and Rach played in his game the year before. So Rach has 3 years
Top
of what became Top Secret. With the last 2 years, it wasn't named because it was playtesting. And I got to say, the Kickstarter just finished as we're recording this. I think it's an excellent game. I love the whole genre that it deals with. The guys from the new TSR were kind enough to give me a PDF of the game so I could get a real good peek at it. And I haven't played it. It plays very easily at the table where you don't have to think so much about the mechanics, but more of what do I want to do and how am I going to do it. It really, and
Good.
Merle with the Lego, last year we were in the jungle and we had to build ruins. This year we were in London. We had to build a neighborhood. It gives you a Lego base, a bunch of Lego of one color, and says, all right, have at it. You get 20 minutes or so. Build it. And then that's the playing field that you play on. Amazing.
Nice.
And Merle is the nicest guy. Sadly, I had done an interview with him, which I planned on posting a transcript at the tavern. And my recording software recorded me just fine, but recorded him, and I had heard him perfectly when we interviewed.
Yeah.
The recording on from his end was so low.
Oh boy.
Trying to transcribe it was just beyond my ability, and I certainly couldn't share the audio as an interview because nobody could really hear him. Which Merle is really he had some great stories about the TSR days and how this all started for him. So I know that Save for Half did do an interview with Merle, and they do have it up. So if you want to catch it, you can
Yeah.
grab it from them.
Yeah, pretty much. And then like Saturday, like I said, with the presentations, the auction, that's my chill out time because I don't go to those because first of all, the midnight auction's fun. I didn't see anything I wanted. The regular auction I avoid like the plague. I don't mean, I mean, it goes to a good cause and all this. I don't mean like, bad things about it, but I do not have anywhere near the deep pockets that the people who go to the auction do.
Yep. I sat through about half of it, and I was like, damn, these people have money.
And I walked into it, okay? And I was standing in the back for a few minutes, and they were auctioning off a painting from, I don't know, Elmore or, whoever. And it was a nice painting. I think it was Frank's Redbox Dragon or something like that. And they just finished auctioning it. And this woman turns to me and says, they just auctioned us for $2,000. And I turned to her and said, and that's why I don't go to the auction. And I walked out.
Well, listen, the midnight auction, I was the subject of the, quote, lost gaming bag from the previous con, where a bunch of assorted things, like, I think the Mutazoids game, and a copy of the new printing of Swords with Relight, and a few other things that were in jokes from people at the con, and I was trying to bid on it to keep it in-house, and I couldn't keep up because people were having too much fun bidding against me. I think I dropped out at like $80.
The one thing you won, I actually stole from you.
Jeez.
He won, I forget what it was, but it was something and a coonskin cap. And I just,
oh, yeah.
He went to pick it up, and I just looked and went, that's mine, and picked up the coonskin cap, put it on, and walked out.
So the midnight auction, I always bid on stuff. Some of it's just to bring the price up, and if I win, I win. And some of it, I actually, I've actually gotten some decent stuff. I got a copy of the basic rules with the Errol Otis art on it, and he actually signed the cover.
Wow.
It was a beat up copy, but he signed the cover. I've picked up a copy of I think the original Supplement 4 for D&D for like, I don't know, $20.
Corey over at Thakos Hammer. Every year, he hasn't done it recently, but every year he usually sends me a couple of 2E books to get signed. And then I signed them back. And I back. And the first year I did that, because like Steve Winter, Zeb Cook wasn't there this year, but he usually always comes. But Steve Winter's always there and stuff, so he has me sign these. Have him sign this. Okay, fine. I have him sign it, send it back. But he gave me a copy of BX. He gave me a B and an X for Errol Otis to sign. And I said, okay, I'll do that. And I had a B and an X that I had Errol Otis sign. But I went one step further. I had Zeb Cook and Steve Marsh sign the expert edition for him and me. And I sent it back to him. He wants my baby now. I mean, he's that.
That's like, just more information than I needed.
Yes, I know, but that's how. I mean, he feels so indebted. It's like, dude, you are rock. You rock. Well, I am Old Man Grognar. Thank you. But he does it every year, and every year it's like, I said, well, when are you going to come out here? Oh, I don't know. Okay, just keep sending me the books. Fine.
Well, it's funny. They have the silent auction every year, and this year one of the silent auctions was a copy, it's a little beat up, of the Deities and Demigods with the Cthulhu mythos in it. So I was like, all right, I'll bid on this. And I should have opened it up to the title page because I won it and didn't know until I won it and I opened it up that pretty much every artist that contributed to that
had signed it.
I was like, oh my God!
Yep. I was standing next to you when you opened that, and you were like,
Well, you know what? I've got a, I don't know what printing that was, but mine's a first printing with the same thing because I spent the first 3 years of the con having everybody who involved in it sign mine.
Well, I spent whatever time it took me to sign my name to the silent auction and $95.
But I it's a first printing, and I got it at Half Price Books for $5.
Oh, they didn't know what they had.
Oh,
They did
you
not know what they
bastard,
had. Well, Silent Auction, I had the Gangbusters box set. I also put up my Rule Cyclopedia, and that was signed by Frank. And,
Oh, nice.
And the cover artist, I can't remember his name. Who did the cover? Not Larry. It was.
Was it Caldwell?
Yeah. No, he was at the con.
Oh, so I don't
He was
know.
painting with the house paint.
Easily.
Yeah, Jeff Easley signed it.
There you
yes.
go.
Sorry, Jeff. I am so sorry. But every time I think of Jeff, I think Larry Elmore. I don't know why. But anyway, I put that one up because, okay, last story. At the con in the dealer's room, and you guys saw this, was a table that was never manned, that had some new product in there and a lot of classic used product.
Mm-hmm. I just had a box that said
Like
leave money.
sixers, sixers and six guns and six-siders and some new
Yep.
stuff. And it had all these modules and stuff. And it's like he had a very well-kept Rules Cyclopedia and a Gangbusters box set that was pretty good, better than what mine looked like. And he has a box there that said, leave money in the box. And I said,
Damn.
oh my God. Oh my God.
And I would be willing to bet.
I was going
I
like,
would be willing to bet that everyone who bought something off there probably left him a reasonably fair price.
I took the RC and Gangbusters and dropped $50 in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's decent, yeah.
Yeah. But I was like, oh God, I'm glad everybody here is honest. I kept thinking somebody's going to, I mean, yeah, they would clear it out eventually, periodically, but I'm going to, how do they know somebody didn't steal this, the money or something? I was being afraid for
I think
them.
that's just faith in the community. is what I
Yes,
think.
and that tells me a lot about the gaming community, how stand up everybody is.
Yep.
Oh, and Jeff D was there. Hi, Jeff. He's got Mighty Protectors coming out pretty soon, and he was kind of, talking that up.
Yeah, I saw him at his table. Had all the signs up for MP.
Yeah. And anyway, a good time. I can't think of it. I think that was about it for me. Good time was had by all. I drove home sleepy, but I got home.
I remember everyone trying to get the hell out on Sunday because it stormed all weekend, and there was a huge, horrible follow-up coming Sunday and Monday. And a couple people, I remember seeing Zach came back because they canceled his flight, so he didn't get out for Monday.
There were a couple of people whose flights got canceled, or people that were, went out and had already signed out, went to the airport, and then 3 hours later, they are back getting a room.
Yeah.
And the hotel was good. They were still giving them the con rate for that night.
Yeah.
That was nice. That was really nice of them. I mean, when we got out of Red Robin, I think we were chasing it. They was chasing me home or something.
It was I know my flight. My flight left the next day on Monday.
Yeah, you stayed another day. That's right.
Yeah, I stayed another day because the worst part of the con for me was I spent between flights and sitting in airports. I spent 14 hours each way getting there.
Wow.
If I die and go to hell, hell's going to be an airport. I'm firmly convinced of that. But I was terrified that I was going to get stuck there.
You know that movie, The Terminal? That was me.
Yeah. Yeah, the old Tom Hanks, the Tom Hanks movie. Yep, that's what it felt like. And they were starting to cancel flights. I mean, I remember Sunday night, the storm would stop for 15 minutes and the airport would just explode. There would just be people flying out. You'd see, woof, 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 get them out.
Yeah, pretty much. We got a window. Go. Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Wow. But everybody had a good time. It was a great hotel. Thank you, Weston.
Yes.
Dallas Fort Worth Airport, Weston. Fort Worth South, I think. And that's at Irving, Texas, which is like a suburb of Dallas. I mean, the suburbs of Dallas are kind of like the suburbs of Southern California.
They're just everywhere. They're cities.
It's like
themselves.
Somebody called Southern California a whole bunch of little cities linked up by 7-Elevens.
Yep.
And that's pretty much Dallas.
Okay.
I'm not too crazy about driving around there, but I manage to get to the con every year. Because to me, it's a straight shot down from Oklahoma City until I get to Denton. Then I got to turn on the GPS.
I live in a town of 200. Yes, 100. And the closest real town to me is only 30,000 people. And I grew up in rural Delaware and rural North Carolina.
Okay.
Big cities scare the pants off me.
They don't bother me at all. Just
Oh my God, terrified.
yeah. Anyway,
Got to bring you up here to New York.
I like New York. I love visiting New York. I wouldn't want to live there.
Okay.
I shall visit someday. It's not really on my bucket list, but you know, I haven't even been to. I grew up 20 minutes away from Disneyland. I have yet to go to Disney World.
Oh,
Yeah.
I went to Disney World for my honeymoon. It was awesome.
Oh, cool. Anyway, that's the con, guys. And go next year. It's going to be the 10th anniversary, 2018. I wish I could pull some dates up. Well, wait a minute. Maybe I can. I will pull up some dates for you good people. How's that sound?
Yep. Actually, you can sign up already.
It's already open?
It's already open.
Okay.
Wow.
It is Tuesday, June 7th to Sunday, June 10th of 2018.
Thursday.
Thursday, June 7th. That's what I said.
You said Tuesday.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thursday, June 7th to Sunday. I wish it was Tuesday.
So do I. I mean, I lived there for a week. That's not a problem.
Westin Dallas Fort Worth Airport Hotel. It's a really great place. They give you a really good. It's $108 a night for con attendees. Like I said, I've already handed down my money.
For that hotel, oh my God, that's
Yeah.
a super nice hotel.
I mean, we've got, and also like $108. I've already got my room booked. I've already got my registration in. I'm set. And listen to this confirmed guest next year. Wolfgang Bauer, Bob Bledsaw Jr., Jason Braun, Jeff D., Chris Clark, Matt Fitch, Skeeter Green, Alan Hammock, Kevin Hendricks, Mary Hendricks, Jack Herman, Tim Cass, Doug Kovacs, Diesel LaForce, Stephen Marsh, Frank Minzer, Errol Otis, Steve Perrin, Stephen Picorni, who came this year, Dr. Dennis Astaire, Jim Wampler, James Ward, Bill Webb, and Stephen Winter.
Nice.
Oh, Steve Perrin's coming back. Cool. I have a lot of fun with him. I just do. And Stephen Picorni, the Dwarvenaut. He was there this year for the first time.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He loved it. He absolutely loved it.
He had a blast. You could see him just running around having fun. He was like, "Oh, that's awesome."
Yeah. I shook his hand. I hope to talk more with him
He's
next
such
year.
he's such an animated guy.
He is. He is. He enjoys what he does. Anyway.
Yes, yep, and it shows.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, that's our pitch for that's our review of the North Texas RPG Con. James, you're the main host. Why don't you take us out? Not literally.
I would say I'm not free to do that on the air. So
Okay. Well, you know what? We got one more thing to say, and we all know what that is. You want
Raspberries?
you want to do it, James?
schnozberries.
About the show.
Oh, I know. Oh yeah, that thing. It has been quite a ride for the three amigos, and I think after our long absence, we all did some soul searching and some talking, and I think it's looking like this may be the final appearance for the three of us on Save or Die. It doesn't mean we're vanishing forever.
Right.
We're all around the interwebs in our own various incarnations, but due to personal obligations on the part of all three of us,
Yes.
we had to make some hard choices.
You did.
So, unfortunately, that means that our tenure as hosts is coming to a close with this episode.
That's right. And it's not like Save or Die may still be around, just not with us.
That is correct.
Right. And if you want to find out more about what we may be doing at some point, just check in at the tavern.
Check the tavern. Yep.
Yep. And look on Facebook and other places like that. And it's been, folks, you know me. You still got Thaco's hammer, but for Save or Die, I'm done. I'm out. So I hope to hear you. I hope to see you on. I hope you listen to Thaco's hammer. and stick with Wild Games Productions because we have some, at least believe RFI is coming back?
I believe so.
Okay, so you'll have Roll for Initiative, and you'll have Thaco's Hammer. But whatever form this show takes, wish it our best.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Folks, thank you very much. It's been a blast.
Yeah. And so
Have a good one.
And the last, and Eric, you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye, everybody.
James, you want to say goodbye? Not so hammy.
Did you say it like bacon?
Everything's better with bacon.
Though we say goodbye, remember, folks, that the road does in fact go ever on.
It does. It does. And for the last time on this show, good night, everybody.
Good night.